Hi guys, I am so happy to see that you've came and hung out with me for a little bit. I wanted to talk to you briefly about blessings. In my previous message, I had talked about blessings and how it's so good to be able to give and to love on people and share whatever the blessings are. But I didn't go into like great detail about being careful about who you bless, being careful about who you actually bless, because a lot of times people are out here and they see your heart and they see how you are channeling like your energy being positive, and some people are out here to do the very best or the very sneakiest, right? We don't want to deal with that, so I wanted to touch on that a little bit. I've been in the medical field for quite a while. I come up in a great family with very elder, family members. My grandmother being 101, my grandmother, my grandfather being, in a very long marriage, and they are the pillars of me and how I was made, honestly. For that, I've learned how to give a lot of myself unrelinquishedly. Problem with that is that some people see this as weakness or being meek or being too meek, and they are normally trying to take, not everybody, but some people do take advantage of you being so kind-hearted as their way of coming up, right? And I want to talk briefly about that, about some people that take your kindness for their own possession. Because I know that a lot of people deal with this. I have I guess, the gift of gab, one, and a lot of people always come to me and tell me all of their insights and what they've done and what they've gone through. And because of that, stories for days. And I don't even need other people's stories. I have mine. I mean, years and years and years of really hard times and really great times. And the hard times sometimes overload the good times. I'm always looking for the good ones. Take the good from the bad. Take the good and the bad. It's always going to be something you have to kind of like balance out. So let's balance this one out. Your blessings are always going to be noticed by God. Every single time, no questions asked. It is coming from your heart. God knows it. Proverbs, wait one second, I want to give you this verse correctly. Proverbs 4:23. It says, also you give, but guard your heart when you're giving. So, you want to make sure that you're not giving so much that you end up becoming bitter or resentful because someone else is taking your kindness for weakness. I have been in very strange situations where they saw me as being this type of, and felt like they could just like take advantage of that. And I had to get a little bit stronger, and I had to get my whole like, God says, let your no be no and let your yes be yes, right? I had to get to a point, and I'm still working it. I'm not there yet. I'm still in the process of, but God says this for a reason. If you're like studying with like excuses or why you're saying no and explaining your no, this is giving somebody leeway to play around with the emotions of your kindness, right? If your blessings that you keep giving and giving and giving becomes a hindrance or becomes a burden or burns you out, this is no longer a blessing of draining you. This is causing you to be more so under that person's temperament, up under that person's demand. And that's not what a blessing is supposed to be like. If God is saying to you, yeah, this person needs to be blessed. Let me give you an example. I live on a block where there is an elderly person. She was losing her vision, and she'd asked me, could I assist her? This is some time getting her clothing, her shoes, stuff like that. This is something she couldn't do. But now on the other side of things, she got used to like me doing the little things. It's like, hey, can you mow my lawn? And can you shovel my snow? And can you rake my grass? And I was like, I don't know about that part. I'll hire somebody. I'll call somebody for you to do those things for you. See, this is what I'm saying. And it might be minor. You know, I'm just about an elder person on the block. But we do this when we have relationships, you know, where someone is telling you to do something and they're taking advantage of your niceness. And it becomes a situation where now they're upset because you don't want to do it. And now you have to have every excuse under the moon to kind of figure out why your no should be no and your yes should be yes. This becomes such a big deal when you don't know that sometimes God is saying, yeah, bless those that need to be blessed, right? You're going to get blessed for this. But if you step into something and I'm trying to build something in somebody, if I'm trying to teach someone a lesson and you decide to say, I got you, and God is saying, I didn't tell you to do that. That wasn't yours to carry. That wasn't your weight. That was somebody else's learning curve. Pull out of that. Understand your blessing should be just that and not something else. Putting your hands inside of something that God is already developing for somebody else. Okay. Until next time.